little bit left and assembling the rest of the dome, so then we can move on to the next part of the Dalek.
All right, let's have a look where we're at, guys. So we can see there's a little bit missing here, and by the looks of it, we're going to finish the top bit off and we're going to work on the eye stalk, which is good because it's now sitting loose in its socket. So we have a dome, a spring, what looks like bearings, and 2 sets of screws. Now it's important because they're very similar not to mix them up. So I assume 4 are for the dome and for this unit. So let's have a look. Let's have a sneak peek. We see the dome is being attached with BM. So let's keep that separate for now. Let's not use them right now. All right, let's open up. What do we have? BM. We're gonna leave this in the packet. This will be for the dome. And these we'll need now. So let's open them up and put them in the usual place. Make sure there's nothing left. All right, what's next? There's a lot of tiny parts here. Well packaged. I like the fact that it's all done in paper and not plastic, so big kudos here. Don't use plastic, guys. Learn from these people, use paper. All right, carefully get everything out. There should be a spring in here. Get out you. There we go. Nice. I'm finally getting to a mechanical bit, and this looks like the other side of the housing. Yep. And that leaves us with our dome. Again, check the box. Yep, all good. And last but not least, nice. Look at that page, the last piece of the puzzle. So let's have a quick overview because it's slightly more complicated. Now we know these screws are for the dome, so we leave them. Don't touch them yet. Look at these screws for this bit here, I presume. And we have a spring, which I've nearly already lost. There we go. And bearings by the look of it. Now the bearings, let's turn this thing upside down. Okay, so we clearly need to add the bearings on here. I think the spring will go in here, underneath. I hope you guys can see it. There's a little hole in there. I push the cable aside and then the spring will be in between this and the protruding plastic bit. And then I guess the assembly will go over it. So let's have a quick peek if that's the case. So we add the bearings, yes. We add the spring and we add the casing. Okay, shouldn't be too difficult. Let's take this thing out and add the bearings. Ooh, that's nice and easy. Okay, and now with these bearings in place, we should be able to drop this in. Look at that, perfect. Ooh, smooth. And the spring will go in underneath. I'm not sure what's keeping this from moving up too far, and do that. Yeah, not quite sure how that works. But anyways, let's have a look at the diagrams again. So we got the bearings in place. Okay. Just says put the spring in. I think this will be the limiter. So let's just put the spring back. Try to do this in camera. Yep. And put this bit on top. Okay, this seems to work. No, it doesn't. So it does not keep the spring in place. It can still go too high and the spring will actually just fall out. Don't worry about this now. Just going to screw these in. And again, as per usual. Oh, don't do that. I need to magnetize these screwdrivers. Provided there's iron, nickel or cobalt in these screws to be magnetized. All right, let's do one screw and then again diagonally the opposite. Now why do I do that? If you just tighten 2 screws on one side, you can actually have it in an angle or it lifts up and it doesn't align properly, and then when you screw in the other side you can actually snap the plastic. So just always try to do it in a diagonal way. That keeps it in place. And then you can screw and fasten the other ones. Okay, let's quickly put this in. Because I think, guys, oops, yeah, that's not a good sound. It's not what you want to hear. Now, because I'm trying to do this all in camera, it's a bit harder for me to actually fit everything properly. So I'm just going by feel. But at least the eye assembly is now properly fixed, as you can see, and the spring actually pushes it up. Interesting. Now what I will do, a little trick, I'll just pull the string out a bit and make it longer so it won't fall out. There we go. So now it should stay put. All right, last bit. Ooh, turn this upside down. You can see the eye stalk now naturally points up. Nice. All right, Paige, do you want to do the honors? Do you want to put it in the last piece?
It's kind of heavy.
That's heavy, isn't it?
So put it on.
Nice. Okay, so now we hold this. Now we're gonna go back to these screws. Now, as per usual, we have a spare. I'll set this aside. We don't need this. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but this discipline is very important. Don't get these screws out before you need them, because trust me, I've done it in the past. You will mix them up. Okay, well, at least there's a possibility of doing so. And there goes the spring again. No, that's one. It's gone. We'll find that later. Little bugger always escapes. Okay, now the last one. Where do we tighten them up? By the looks of it, it's 3 connections. Simple. And again, try to do this in camera. I don't know why that hole is in there, that rectangular hole. Maybe it will have a future purpose. I don't know. What do you think, Paige? Why did they left this open?
Maybe so you can put screws in or something?
No, it's not needed for the screws, but I mean, you can see the screws are... If anything, it makes it weaker. But yeah, don't know. But that recess could be used for future things. It could hold a PCB, or the actual opening, because it's metal, could act as cooling. That actually gives me an idea. And one more screw. And oops, we are done. Ski. Do you have any thoughts at this stage, Paige?
Well, why does the thing even need so many screws?
Well, it needs so many screws because when they built this Dalek, they have to make it reproducible so other people can build it. So they break it up in little pieces, and therefore every piece needs to be screwed in. And which is good, because you don't want to have it glued. And here we have it, the final version. Let me just find that spring again. That jumped away. Somewhere. Anywhere. No. It's probably somewhere on the floor. Well, we'll find it in a sec. But yeah. You may want to tape it on the inside, not sure, but here you go, guys. The completed dome in all its glory. Nice, beautiful. So the spring will actually naturally lift it up, and then the servo will probably allow you to pull it down and get motion. So you only have to go one way, and then it will naturally move up. All right. That's it for today. We'll end this episode here while we go looking for this spring. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.